This story's not gonna be that scary. It's just a game of hide and go seek with La Llorona. Nothing is safe anymore. No knock knock joke, no hide and go seek. All jokes aside, I heard this story and I was like, I need to share it with you because I love you so much and I'm not the only one that has to be scared. Of course, this story comes from Mexico, more specifically Guanajuato. So these kids decided to go out in the middle of the night to play in the monte, and the guy telling us the story, his name is Juan. This happened when he was little. He was very scared of the dark, so his friends had to convince him to go out and play. So after a bit of them playing out there, they all decided to play hide and go seek, and they all went their separate ways. So Juan decided to just run away as far as he could because he didn't want to get found. But by the time he knew it, he looked around and he was lost. He didn't even know how to get back to where his friends started playing the game. But since he was a scaredy cat, he was there alone, he decided to start walking and not just stay in that spot because he needed to get away from there. So as he's walking, he sees this abandoned ranch. And out of nowhere, things just started changing. Like, it got cold, a lot of fog started coming in to the point where he couldn't see anymore where he was going. It was so silent, he said you could hear a pin drop. And in that silence is when he heard a woman just cry so loud. Juan got so scared just hearing that, but he didn't want to panic and he just decided to keep walking. So as he's walking, again, he couldn't see anything and he just bumps into this like piece of concrete. To him, it looked like somebody's tomb, but when he turned to the side, he sees a lady dressed in all white. He says that she had so much hair in front of her face he couldn't see any facial features, but he also noticed something else. He noticed that it looked like she was floating rather than walking. And not just that, this lady was crying uncontrollably. Juan was so scared that he also started crying uncontrollably, but in that moment he closed his eyes and he started praying. And after a few minutes, he heard nothing else. He peeked with one eye and noticed that that lady was gone. Strangely, so did the cold atmosphere and the fog was gone as well. Juan started running after this, and surprisingly he found his way back home. When he goes into the house, his grandma sees how panicked he looked and asked him what happened. Juan explained everything to his grandmother, and as he's telling her the story, her face is like serious. Juan is now an adult, but he mentions that his grandmother actually sat him down and told him the story of La Llorona and how in that place where he was, a lot of men have crossed through there and claim to have seen the same thing. His grandmother told him that the tomb of La Llorona was actually there and that there had been some men that go missing and don't even come back home. I'm just curious what happened to his friends because he doesn't tell us anything about that in the story.